Hidden concerns behind the Hefei model, another unexploded bomb for the Chinese economy. Reports of students in Jiangsu jumping off buildings in large numbers. Expert, 3 major after effects of Evergrande's liquidation disrupt the CCP's calculations. China to face most complex weather since 2008 during New Year. Is the Chinese mitten crab invading Europe? A growing concern. It's all covered in today's China Truths. Hidden concerns behind the Hefei model, another unexploded bomb for the Chinese economy. Government-led initiatives in industries like electric vehicles and solar panels have transformed China into a global export powerhouse, turning Hefei into a model for other Chinese cities. This is what the Chinese Communist authorities proudly refer to as the Hefei model. What exactly is the Hefei model? In simple terms, it is a novel approach to attracting investment using state-owned capital to drive economic development. In 2015, Hefei restructured state-owned capital operation institutions, establishing 3 major state-owned investment and financing platforms: Xingtai, Jianqing Investment, and Industrial Investment. Wang Wangakan, an assistant researcher at the China Economic Research Institute, explains, due to the influx of foreign capital and private enterprises, there is a growing influence of state-owned enterprises. Otherwise, all investments would come to a standstill. The Hefei model is essentially a signal or performance aimed at pleasing Xi Jinping. However, its inherent flaws lie in the reliance on state-owned enterprises, which are inherently problematic. The second issue is the dominance of the industrial system by the military industry. Despite emphasizing private enterprises, it remains challenging for them and foreign capital to participate in military and defense enterprises. Consequently, the entire industrial structure of mainland China may be further distorted. The New York Times has highlighted the hidden concerns behind the heavily promoted Hefei model by the Chinese Communist Party's official media. The Hefei model involves using government funds to purchase newly issued shares of manufacturers and startups in need of cash. Officials also secure loans with favorable interest rates from state-owned banks to support new factories. The decline in China's real estate sector has adversely affected the finances of millions of families and small businesses, including Hefei. Epoch Times columnist Wang Yi comments, the Chinese Communist Party has been advocating for an economic shift from investment-driven to demand-driven. However, a significant amount of resources is being invested in state-owned enterprises with low efficiency. As state-owned enterprises become larger and more powerful, the overall economy is likely to stagnate. This issue is closely related to the system and policies, contributing to the abnormal development and crisis state of the Chinese economy. The sharp drop in real estate sales has severely impacted debt-laden developers' ability to finance new projects. The total floor area of new projects last year decreased by 57% compared to 2022. Small business owners note that local governments, which were once major customers, have ceased placing orders, stating, "The government has no money, and its pockets are empty." Mainland media reported on the 26th that Hefei's housing prices are still falling, not to mention the unemployment rate. On the 29th, Reuters reported that the European Union is increasingly concerned about the influx of cheap products from China's industrial overcapacity into Europe, escalating the trade war between the West and Beijing. The EU's trade policy has become more protective to counter the global impact of China's production-centric, debt-driven development model. Pascal Lamy, former chairman of the World Trade Organization and current distinguished professor at China-Europe International Business School, warns that China's current path will likely lead to more trade conflicts. We have come to realize that this is a structural problem rooted in the fact that part of China's production system is driven not by market behavior but by investments directed by the Chinese Communist Party. Reports of students in Jiangsu jumping off buildings in large numbers. The story of the Jiangsu 5 taking their own lives, leading to a 25-day break, quickly went viral on social media across mainland China, particularly on platforms like Douyin, which is the Chinese equivalent of TikTok. Although many related videos and content have been deleted, discussions on platforms such as Zhihu and sporadic mentions on Douyin indicate the incident's impact. Videos on Douyin discussing the Jiangsu 25-day break are still up, but many steer clear of talking about the students who took their lives. Some videos even downplay the severity of the situation, attributing the extended break for high school seniors in Jiangsu to the province's tough policy enforcement. Yet, many knowledgeable online commenters keep bringing up the 5 taking their own lives. According to various online sources, Jiangsu authorities mandated a 25-day break for high schools, including those in their final year. However, the implementation varied, with some regions allowing an actual break and others converting on-campus classes to online learning, instructing parents to closely monitor their children. Parental reactions to the extended break have been mixed. Some are relieved that their children can finally take a breath, while others express dissatisfaction, believing it hampers their children's preparation for the college entrance exams. Some individuals are attempting to organize efforts to request the resumption of regular classes in schools. Rumors suggest that the unusual extended break in Jiangsu resulted from the original plan in Nantong City to provide only a 3-day break for high school seniors during the Chinese New Year, leading to multiple students feeling overwhelmed and resorting to suicide. Although videos related to this incident have been removed from platforms like Douyin, the search history still shows distressing trending topics. Local online users initially reported about the Nantong 5 taking their own lives, but this number quickly rose to 6 and then 7. There are claims that the real count of recent student suicides in Nantong could be as high as 17, but these reports are allegedly being suppressed by the authorities. There are also rumors from locals that student suicides have happened not only in Nantong City but throughout other areas of the province as well. China's uneven policies regarding the college entrance examination vary from province to province. Jiangsu, being a populous province, faces high difficulty in the college entrance exams, with historically challenging test papers. Despite this, it is still considered a college entrance exam powerhouse, with students consistently achieving high scores. Some Jiangsu netizens claim that the decision to grant an extended break was made under strict orders from the provincial education department, threatening officials in the education system with consequences if the break was not implemented. Expert: 3 major after-effects of Evergrande's liquidation disrupt the CCP's calculations. The Hong Kong High Court issued a liquidation order against Evergrande on January 29, highlighting the company's failure to submit a restructuring plan. Evergrande, the world's most indebted real estate developer with over 2.4 trillion yuan in liabilities, defaulted on its overseas debt in 2021. The liquidation process is estimated to take 5 years, impacting over 1,300 unfinished projects and affecting millions of people. Senior media figure Tang Hao analyzed in Crossroads of the World that the CCP actually has no intention of saving Evergrande. Now, for the Beijing authorities, there are 2 significant regime tests. One is the challenge from the anti-Xi faction within the party, and the other is the difficulty in rescuing the Chinese economy. The Evergrande issue has been dragging on for 2 years, leaving a very negative impression on both the CCP and the Chinese market. The CCP may also hope that Evergrande will be liquidated as soon as possible to bring a swift conclusion. Tang Hao mentioned that due to Evergrande's involvement in various sectors, the CCP will use political means to carry out risk control and divide the colossal Evergrande bomb into multiple smaller ones to dismantle it slowly. This approach aims to minimize the impact of Evergrande's liquidation on financial and economic risks. However, the liquidation of Evergrande may have several after-effects, potentially disrupting the CCP's calculations. Effect 1: real estate companies, finance, and local debt may trigger a financial crisis. The liquidation of Evergrande indicates a severe downturn in China's real estate market. Consequently, major real estate companies will face challenges in selling inventory, making debt repayment more difficult, and transforming these debts into bad debts for banks. If real estate companies struggle to operate, they may refrain from purchasing land from local governments, resulting in reduced local fiscal revenue. The local government debts, exceeding 92 trillion yuan in China, could also turn into bad debts, burdening banks, contractors, and other industries. Chinese financial institutions will have to bear the astronomical debts of real estate companies, massive government debts, unpaid personal debts, etc. The convergence of real estate companies, the financial industry, and local debt may create a significant perfect storm, triggering systemic financial risks. Effect 2. The central bank's liquidity injection is ineffective, private investment and consumption remain sluggish. Despite recent substantial loans from the Central Bank of China to stimulate the economy, private companies are still reluctant to invest, and consumption remains sluggish. Tang Hao suggested that the CCP's rule has eroded people's confidence, making it challenging to boost China's economy. Effect 3. Opening up to attract investment is ineffective, and foreign investment poses a threat to the country. Tang Hao highlighted epidemic risks, geopolitical risks, war risks, counter-espionage risks, etc., in China's entire environment, causing foreign-funded companies to stay away from the country. Particularly, witnessing the liquidation of the real estate giant Evergrande, foreign-funded companies will likely raise more questions and concerns. He believes that the liquidation of Evergrande is not the end of China's economic downturn but an acceleration of it. It might not be easy for the CCP to resolve Evergrande's issues and expand efforts to attract foreign investment to salvage the economy. China to face most complex weather since 2008 during New Year. As the new year unfolds, China is grappling with a series of extreme weather events. Heavy fog warnings have been upgraded in multiple provinces and cities, reaching the highest level of red in some areas. Concurrently, the country braces for the most intense rain, snow, and freezing weather since 2009, with some provinces expecting historic levels of snowfall. On January 31st, the Guangxi Fangchenggang City Meteorological Observatory issued an orange fog warning, anticipating visibility of less than 200 meters in coastal areas within the next 12 hours. Similar warnings have been issued in Jiangsu and other regions, with some areas escalating to the highest level of red fog warnings. China is set to experience widespread rain and snow from January 31st to February 5th, characterized by a broad impact, substantial cumulative precipitation, prolonged duration, and extensive freezing rain coverage. This weather phenomenon is projected to be the most severe winter event since 2009. Hunan Province, at the heart of this extreme weather, issued an emergency notice as the cumulative snowfall and snow depth are expected to reach or exceed historical records. The forecast suggests that the rain and snow process will persist for 6 days, with some areas facing the longest duration since 2009. As the peak travel period for the Chinese New Year approaches, the adverse weather conditions pose significant challenges to transportation, prompting road closures in various provinces. Rain, snow, and freezing weather are expected to disrupt roads, railways, and air travel, impacting millions of travelers returning home. Several provinces, including Hebei, Jiangsu, Shandong, and Anhui, will experience strong cold currents, resulting in sleet, freezing rain, and pure snow. Road closures have already been reported in Inner Mongolia, Hunan, Hebei, Guizhou, and Guangxi due to snowfall and icy roads. Blizzards or severe blizzards are forecast to hit 10 provinces, with extreme snowfall amounts. Netizens express concerns about travel disruptions, recalling vivid memories of the challenging weather during the 2008 New Year and emphasizing the need for reliable information and preparation for the impending extreme conditions. Is the Chinese mitten crab invading Europe? A growing concern. The Chinese mitten crab, also known as Shanghai hairy crab or river crab, is a seasonal delicacy in China, especially in the Jiangnan region. The crabs are particularly flavorful and are considered a culinary treasure. However, this organism, named for the dense fur on its claws, has become a challenge for Europeans. In fact, the Chinese mitten crab is one of the world's 100 most serious invasive species. They can consume almost anything and thrive in both terrestrial and aquatic environments, reproducing rapidly. A female crab can lay 250,000 to 1 million eggs each time. According to CNN, over a century ago, they were first discovered in Europe near a river in Bremen, Germany. It is believed that they hitched a ride on ships from their native Asia. Since then, the population of Chinese mitten crabs has exploded across the entire European continent. Currently, they have established themselves in 18 out of the 27 EU member countries. This burrowing creature disrupts local aquatic food chains and poses additional risks to embankments and riverbanks, leading to its inclusion in the EU's list of invasive species of concern. The EU estimates that invasive species cause €12 billion, $13 billion, in economic losses to its member countries annually. Scientists across Europe are searching for ways to reduce the population of Chinese mitten crabs to protect local ecosystems damaged by invasive species. So far, the most successful strategy has been trap crabbing, employed by the University of Antwerp and the Flanders Environment Agency in Belgium. Jonas Schullink, a professor of aquatic ecology at the University of Antwerp, stated that since 2018, the country has installed 3 such traps, capturing an estimated 3 million crabs. While the Chinese mitten crab is a seasonal delicacy in China, Schullink mentioned that it has very little meat, making it unpopular in the European market. Additionally, many of the crabs caught in traps are juveniles. However, he noted that crabs collected in one trap in Belgium are sent to local zoos as animal feed. Last year, another trap with the same design, independent of the EU program, was installed in the UK. The EU group plans to introduce more traps in Belgium, Germany, France, and Sweden in the coming years. Don't forget to leave a comment in the section below to share your opinions on today's topic with us. Make sure to like and subscribe to see more interesting topics from China Truths.